have some breaking news. NBA legend Jerry West has died at the age of 86. The 14-time All-Star and former NBA executive was the inspiration for the NBA logo. Known by the nickname Mr. Clutch, West was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1980 and later won 8 NBA championships as the general manager of the Showtime Lakers dynasty. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver released a statement saying, quote, Jerry West was a basketball genius and a defining figure in our league for more than 60 years. I valued my friendship with Jerry and the knowledge he shared with me over many years about basketball and life. ESPN NBA writer Tim Bontemps joins me now for more on Jerry West's passing. Tim, thanks for coming on. You know, we just heard from the NBA commissioner. How are others in the NBA reacting to this news?
Jerry West is, as Adam Silver said in his statement, one of the giants in the sport. He arguably had the greatest life of anyone in the history of basketball. When you look at the totality of his accomplishments, he was one of the best players to ever play in the sport, spending his entire career with the Lakers, going to the finals many times, losing to the Celtics in a bunch of them before winning a championship late in his career, and then going on to be probably the greatest executive in the history of basketball, building the Showtime Lakers, and then in the same week, executing a draft night trade to get Kobe Bryant from the Charlotte Hornets, and then signing Shaquille O'Neal as a free agent, creating the next dynasty for the Los Angeles Lakers. And when you look at Jerry West, who then went on to be part of the Golden State Warriors run over the past decade, helping get Kevin Durant to come to the Warriors, keeping the Warriors from trading Klay Thompson, helping to build that team, spending some time with the Clippers in his last years of his life as well. This is a guy who was universally respected for the way he conducted himself on and off the court, who was the consummate professional on it. As you said, he's the personification of the NBA's actual logo. He literally is the logo of the league, and is just truly one of the titanic figures in the history of the sport. So on the eve of the NBA Finals, which he participated in as either a player or an executive, more than I think a quarter of them in the history of the league, it's safe to say that his presence will be felt quite a bit here in Dallas tonight.
All right, Tim Bontemps with ESPN. Tim, thank you.
Okay,
And former NBA executive.
Let's put my opinion on this. This man is a legend. I understand that. But the thing that pissed me off, even Jerry West said this before he died. He said Michael Jordan should be the logo of the NBA. And I think that too. I think they try, anytime there's a good white person in any type of product, they want that product to be the face of that white person. Just like in the WNBA, they're trying to make Caitlin Clark the face of the WNBA, and she haven't even earned it yet. Just like in rap music, they try to make Eminem be like the greatest rapper ever, and he's just not. But because he's white and he can actually rap, they want him to be the face of rap. And it's like that in everything. Jerry West, he won 1 championship. I don't think that should be the face of the league. And he did it around the time there was only like 7 or 8 teams. So I'm not trying to shit on him because he's dead, but I don't think he should have never been the face of the league. Like, there's too many great players ahead of him. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. Man, I even put Shaq. Like, it's just too many great players in front of him for him to be the logo, especially in a league that's been 70% black basically since the 80s. What do you have to say about that? Him being the face of the league, him being the face of the basketballs, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of neutral on it. You make a lot of like accurate, credible points. There are some other players that might be considered, that were pretty prolific, to say the least.
Even Jerry West himself said Michael Jordan should be the logo of the NBA. Even the guy that's on the logo said that.
Well, I mean, that's Jerry's personal opinion or view. You know that. I mean, I don't know if everybody else in the league will agree with it. Maybe most of them would, but it's different people that you could consider for it. Like what Bill Russell did, not just winning championships, but what he stood up for as far as politically and racially, with Muhammad Ali, with different things that was happening around time as far as like racism and inequality. I would consider Bill Russell as an option, or it just depends, but. I understand your point of him like only winning like just Jerry West being the face of the league as the final option that could be challenged. You know, I understand what you say as far as that. I don't know who I would pick though, because it's just too many players. You know,
I would pick either Michael Jordan or Bill Russell. You could put Kobe in there, but I wouldn't because he was accused of the rape stuff. I don't think anybody with a tarnished record should be the logo of the NBA. So if Kobe never got that situation on him, I would put either Kobe, Michael Jordan, or Bill Russell.
Really, this might sound crazy to people, but maybe I'm biased, but. Shit, I wouldn't mind. Some people wouldn't mind Allen Iverson being the face of the logo.
No, to me, you have to win a championship.
Well, I mean, that's kind of subjective. But outside of the winning the championship part, what Iverson like did in the league as far as like revolutionizing how you can dress and going against the status quo. And what he endured before getting into the league, like when he falsely got accused of being involved in a brawl between whites and blacks in high school, and then he eventually was released because he wasn't guilty, and then got accepted to Georgetown to make the league. That's inspirational within itself. It's different factors that I wouldn't mind Iverson being an option too, and everything. Then also just how he's represented the NBA after he's retired. Like you see him at all these different events and different things and just, you know, so it's just so many different people you could think about though. Then you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, everything he done, he stood up with Muhammad Ali and them back then as far as politics and inequality, and he's involved in organizations and stuff outside of the NBA that's impactful. So there's different options, and you don't have to just sit there and subject it to just winning the championship. The logo can be. Somebody representing the logo could be so much more for the NBA, not just delegated to just basketball.
I disagree a little bit. Was Allen Iverson the best player in the league while he was playing? Yes.
At one time he was considered the best outside of the championship. Yeah, he was considered the best. Fighting 2001.
You said
2001 Finals MVP, won MVP. I think they might have had maybe a 1 1/3 seed, and they made it to the finals. Say 2001, he probably was considered.
So about a year. So about 1 year.
Outside of Shaq, probably 2001. Yeah, he was considered that best player. Then the other years, he was kind of like, you know, top 5.
So he had 1 year. You would probably say he was the best player.
Yeah, arguably, yeah. But the other years where he put up numbers. And they might have had 1 or 3 seeds, but they didn't go to the finals and stuff. He was still probably like in the top 5. So
I would give you that. But for me to say you're the face of the league, you either have to win a championship or you have to have crazy records.
I ain't gonna lie. Another person we didn't even mention for this, though, that could be a considerable option by some people is Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. I wouldn't put him in the league because he lost too many times against Bill Russell.
Well, yeah, but if we be honest, if we take away Jerry's championship, they just said in the video he lost multiple times to the Celtics. So we can't.
That's why I wouldn't put Jerry as the face of the NBA. Yeah, what you just said is the reason why I would not put Jerry West in the face of the NBA league.
And I contextualize certain things. Like it's one thing for you to win the championship in a team sport, but were you the main guy? Did you dominate, or were you just like the second option or a role player? I had to like assess how the championship was like won, and what was your impact or your position in bringing that championship to a franchise. So, you know, and that's not even with just Jerry West. That's with just any player. I don't
I agree
I
with that.
don't just surrender like most of the credit like to the player, because there could be other factors too. Like just like in football, you know, you people say like certain teams their defenses was the main reason they won, and then the quarterback just did. Then there's some situations where the quarterback dominated, led the charge, and the defense followed. So I contextualize that too when it comes to championships.
But don't you think Michael Jordan was the dominant force in why he won his 6 championships?
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I mean, he wasn't the only one. Like
he's the only one in the modern day era that won 3 in a row and then retired and then came back and won another 3. That's the face of the league to me.
Yeah, that's an arguable case. I mean, it's just like I said, everything's contextualized. Like for example, Magic Johnson might not have did the same thing, but Magic Johnson actually went to like 5 or 6 finals or something, and then he went
to way more than 5.
No. I know I'm about to go there, Paul, but I'm saying he went to 5 or 6 before he got sick. You know what I'm saying? He went to a certain amount of finals before he got sick. Then he came back and went to like 1 or 2 more, couple more, and he went to a total of 9 finals. And then he won Finals MVP or led Lakers to a championship when Kareem got hurt at the age of 19 years old. What he did at Michigan State before getting drafted, like Magic Johnson has so much within his years too, where some people might consider him the face of the league. And then you got Bill Russell and stuff, where he was player and coach, and they won like what was it? 7 to 9 rings or something like that.
They won 9 rings in 11 years.
9 rings, 11 years. He was considered they didn't have finals MVP.
No, they won 11 rings in 13 years.
Or 11 rings in 13 years. They didn't have finals MVPs back then. A lot of people don't know that. So that's why he became the guy that introduces the finals MVP. So that ceremonial process was dedicated to him because they had finals MVP back then. A lot of people don't even know that. If they did, he would have way more than Jordan or anybody. Not trying to shit on Jordan, but this is just facts.
Bill Russell is not getting 11 rings in modern day time. Not with 30-something teams.
That's debatable though.
No, it's not a debate.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Do you know there was only like
we don't know? I mean, but if Jordan played back then, we don't know with Jordan have won them championships back then. You can't just like flip. People can't just flip history. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
No player in the modern day era is winning 11 rings.
Bill Russell and them, they might not have had no 30 teams, but there were teams that were formidable back then.
Get out of here. It was mostly white players that they dominated.
Yeah, hold on real quick.
Yeah, you tripping, bro.
Yeah,
I'm trying to school this young man on some basketball, man. Shit, I'm trying to school this guy, man. For real. But right below, do y'all think that Jerry West should be the face of the NBA logo over Jordan, Kareem Abdul, Shaq?
I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even the best Lakers player of all time, Jerry West. He's not.
He's one of them though.
But he's not though.
But you could, but that's what you saying right there is even hard to judge like the best Laker player of all time. Some people may have Kobe, some people may have Magic, some people may have Will. That's a debate.
Kobe and Magic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more or less. Will got busy too, though. I mean,
they was playing against a lot of white players. Come on,
no,
they were playing against a lot of white players.
No, that's not.
It was only 8 teams in the league. Stop it.
You diminish.
It was only 8. Some of the games wasn't even recorded. Stop it.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
They had talented black and white players back then. George Mike Kahn, John Havlicek. You better get out of here. Hey, I'm just saying, though, you might not like the era, but they had talent back then. Because if they had talent back then, it wouldn't be a league. Like, yeah, it may not be 30 teams, but those
it took time to be a legit professional.
Another thing is they didn't even have 3-point shots back then, so you really had to see how good people were the 3-point shot kind of changed the dynamic for good and bad. Like sometimes when they had a 3-point shot, you had
it
to
actually
go to the
changed it
hole.
for good because it showed you the skill of
well,
a
that's
three-pointer.
one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is it was more aggressive back then. 3-point shot, you can kind of just, you know what I mean, just shoot. But back then, you had to go to the hole. You had to really get in the interior. But
Shit, you
3-point
know
shot,
how hard it is to shoot 3 points?
I'm not saying that, but when it's not threes,
That's,
you really had to. You
that's
really
a
had to.
special skill
You
set.
really had to.
Anybody could run to the basket and shoot it real quick.
Nah, not necessarily. It was physical specimens back then, as far as athletically and just how the game was called, the pace.
What do you think is the hardest generation of the NBA? I would say the 80s. I would say the 80s was very crucial. It had a lot of black players, a lot of teams. It wasn't just 8 teams. I would say the 80s. What would you say is the most crucial era of the NBA?
Man, yeah, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to judge. That's kind of hard to judge that, though. I mean, I guess
if you had to guess, if you had to make an intelligent guess, what do you think is the most crucial era of the NBA? I would say the 80s.
Either the 40s, 60s, or the 80s.
The 40s and 60s? Are you kidding me? With 8 teams? Yeah, you got to be kidding me. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Yeah,
you
man. Like I'm looking up like George Mikan right now, man. Like this.
Most of the players was white in the 60s, right?
That don't mean that they wasn't good and all that. And
yeah,
everything.
It does. It means that the league was super racist.
George Mikan, this white dude, he got busy. I'm looking at his numbers right now. He was averaging 28 points, 14 rebounds. This is like from 48 to 55.
But there were no black players.
There were some. There was outside of Bill Russell. You had Elgin Baylor. You had a lot of black
But you
players.
said 50s and 60s. There were barely any black players. So the league was racist and they didn't have black players. So how could you really count those statistics and say those was the best players in the world when they disclude black players? That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, as far as in Bill Russell era though, that was like years later. I think Bill Russell was like 70s and 80s.
Yeah. But you said 50s and 60s.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I see your point as far as the black players not being there yet. But that doesn't mean that the white players that were there and stuff like weren't like talented and great. And then once they implemented the black players, everything just kind of meshed or kind of elevated from there.
Whenever you disclude a race, I don't care about the records because you're not putting the best opponents on the field. Period. If they was
that's how. Well, if you feel like that about the 40s, I understand that. But in Bill Russell era, there was some black players. I'm not gonna say it was half black players, but there was a good little portion of black players in Bill Russell's era.
I know. I was just questioning you when you said the 50s and 60s and the 40s and 50s. I think you said. I don't count that at all. That was the racist moment of the NBA. No black players really. How could you really count those records?
Yeah, but maybe I'm off base, but not the 40s though. But the 50s, 60s, and 80s, then yeah.
Not even the 50s. You're pushing it. You're pushing it.
Russell came in around then, and like Wilt and Kareem and all them and all that, and it was more black players starting.
They came around the 60s and 70s.
Nah. Bill Russell started in 1956. Paul, I'm looking at it.
1956.
Yeah, it went he started from 56 and then it was all the way to 69.
But there was only 2 or 3 black players at that time.
Nah, it was more than that.
Yeah. Look at how many black players in 1956 and 1959. There was only a few. Will Chamberlain was even playing NBA around 1956.
So percentage wise, I mean, I ain't gonna count out because that's just too many. Percentage wise, it was 70.3. No, hold on. No, that's not right. Hold on, real quick. Let me pull it.
Yeah, look it up, man.
Hold on, real quick.
I want the truth, nothing but the truth.
In 1959 and 1960, I think it rose to about 18 players. I think
that was black.
Yeah.
That's not many.
Yeah, it's not many, but there were. But my point was there were some. I didn't say there was majority. There were some.
They still was discluding us. They only put the greatest black players that they could find in the league, but it was still dominantly white.
But
the
racism wasn't even just with the NBA, Dan. It was even in college too and stuff. Like some of the legends like Pee Wee Kirkland and all them, they were talking about white coaches knew they were the best player and they were trying to politic not playing them, and then when they were getting ready to lose in the championship or in the semifinals, they put them in. So the racism was existing not just in the NBA, but even in college too. Even in baseball with the Negro League. So that I do agree with you. I'm on the same page with you as far as
that's why I don't care about Babe Ruth records. Fuck Babe Ruth records.
All right,
there's no black people playing against Babe Ruth. Is that true? There was no black players playing against.
Well, I didn't watch baseball that much, but to me, I won't diminish his greatness if that's happening. That's not
race.
That's not his fault.
How can you
go? Gotta go down.
It's not his fault, but how can I got my buddy. Hello.
Yo.
What's up, bro?
What's happening, man?
What's up?
I'm at the workplace. So I'm gonna make this quick. Jerry West died. I don't care. Like, who cares? Like, that's before my time. Yeah. I'm a Miami Heat fan, and I want to say shout out to Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway's the man.
Yeah, they need to put his son in the finals, man. I'm upset about that right now.
Yo, the I don't know. Like, listen, not to get political about it, but they might be cock blocking him because people don't like Tim for what he said. But the guy before LeBron came here to Miami and all that shit, Tim Hardaway had the fucking team on his back. Him and Zoe, and he comes out, he speaks his mind about gay guys and shit, and spoke the truth, his truth, and the league wants to cock block him.
Yep. Oh boy, was pretty good too for Miami. I think his name was Glenn Rice.
Glenn Rice was Michael Jordan's favorite basketball player. Michael Jordan said it at the MVP game. He said Glenn Rice is my favorite guy to watch because Glenn Rice that year got the award for whatever the fuck he got an award for.
Before you leave the stream, who do you think should be the face of the NBA logo? Because I don't think it's Jerry West. He only won one championship.
Jerry West is iconic for some reason because he had some sort of records, but see, like I said, it's before my time. Like, I used to be a real NBA nerd, but I was blinders, man. I'm all about Michael Jordan. I'm all about Ronnie Cycli. I'm all about the Heat. And I was all about the Heat Bulls rivalry because I'm a 90s kid. I was more passionate about the Miami Hurricanes and their basketball program than I was about NBA. Yeah. But Jerry West is iconic for some reason. I think he's tied in to the fucking Hollywood Illuminati somehow, and they make him a something special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be that way because
100.
It has to be that way because you can't just win one championship and then some records and be the face of the logo. It makes no sense when the league is mostly black now, and Michael Jordan, he's the best to ever do it in my eyes.
It's like insane, and like to see his progression because the first couple seasons with the Bulls, it was like whatever. Now there's a video on YouTube. It's MJ's mom out there coaching him, essentially out there showing him what to do. And the woman had moves. The woman was coaching this guy. She took a major interest in her own son's career. And I think that was a turning point for Michael. Like, some people say that he took an oath, he did this and that. Nah. I mean, look, because they point to MJ's dad dying. They say that's a sacrifice and all this shit. Listen, not everything's a conspiracy. MJ's a fucking man.
Exactly. MJ's the GOAT, man.
For real.
He's one of the greats.
Yeah.
I had something else to say. So I saw. Remember how you did that video on Giancarlo, the guy from Breaking Bad? Yeah. Okay, so I seen that guy signing autographs at some Dallas fucking DorkCon. Okay, if this guy's doing signings, like, kiss his career goodbye. Because I mean, bro, like, how are you gonna get? It's a good thing that they're giving him the option to to be what was it? A Green Goblin? That's a big step up.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, man. Who they have at that convention? They had Susan Sarandon, washed up, old bag. You had freaking you had this William Shatner, a freaking, William Shatner's the GOAT for what he did, but that's what he does now, conventions. The guy's 100 years old. So this guy Giancarlo is desperate. That's why he won't. What I'm saying is he won't stand up for himself and say, "Hey, I want a meteor role. I don't want some 5 minutes in some Spider-Man movie that's going to be trash. I want to be Doctor Doom." He's not standing up for himself.
Yeah, he needs to stand up. He's a great actor,
Facts.
and he needs a bigger role. Definitely.
I mean, think about it. Breaking Bad, not a show I liked. Okay, drug dealers don't move that way because I watched a little bit of it. It's like The Wire. To me, that ain't how people move. But it's a good show for people, not me. The guy who starred in that, the Bryan Cranston guy.
Yeah.
Notice how you don't see him no more. Whatever he's got in the oven is going to be big. It's going to be a big payday for him, and it's going to be a big move.
Yeah, I heard he's rumors
What's
to
that?
be a big character in the MCU too.
I mean, MCU's tapping all these guys. Imagine the bankroll that freaking ABC Disney must have to have all these guys on retainer. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I mean, they got so many pots going, and all that shit costs money. It's insane. There's so much money going into Disney now. Now it's Fox. I mean, like, who doesn't? And the government don't call a flag on none of that shit. Like, they just basically have a monopoly going over there.
Yeah, they doing some type of evil shit on the low, and we don't know what it is.
I mean, bro. Okay, so you go to Disneyland. Where is the private club that Walt Disney had? It's the 33rd degree. The whole thing's Illuminati shit, bro. You kidding me? Like Walt Disney's granddaddy Lucifer over here.
Exactly. It's an evil racist company for sure.
I mean, I got my girls. It's all Disney stuff. You know what I mean? I watch all the stuff with them. Brainwashing. Nah, my girls are my girls. They reject whatever they don't like. Like there's certain live action Disney films that they don't want to see. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like me growing up, I never watched this stuff, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to watch Disney heavy when I was younger.
So I'm 45. So when I was a kid, and I'm not trying to age nobody. When I was a kid, Disney was a premium. Like the cable, like I had the cable hookup from the ground. Like my dad spliced it into our house, but it did not. The scrambler box did not get us Disney. You know what I mean?
Oh, that sucks. Because Disney used to be good before the woke shit.
Yeah, Cartoon Network was the stuff back in the day too.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Nickelodeon was too.
I had the my rotation was G.I. Joe, Tom and Jerry, and Looney Tunes. That's it.
That's a good rotation.
My rotation was Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, like all the good stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon.
Dragon Ball Z was I was at my grandma's house, channel 33, and Mr. Popo was purple.
Yeah, they would say he was like a racist character.
Yeah,
I got to grind out this job place, man. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Okay.
Salute, Officer Ball. Later, my friend.
All right.
Okay. But let's talk about this Jerry West character. I just don't think he should be the face of the league. I just, in my heart, it's like, why? Okay. Can you explain that to me? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know what he said. Might be, you never know who, not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but you never know what
sacrifice he took.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm just gonna say the connections or what relationship he has. I don't want to say, because I mean, as far as like I do believe in some situations there's like deaths that are normal, and then there are some deaths that are like abnormal, where it's not of God, it's some foul play involved.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess so I get where he coming from when he mentioned about like Jordan's dad, and some people might try to tie that to Jordan's, success, and
Yeah. My thing with it, what is the like certifications for you to have to be the face of the logo? That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
Because I don't think he has enough statues in the NBA to be the face of the NBA.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, like what's the structure? What do you have to have? What's the credentials for you to be the logo of the NBA? I wish they could like tell us.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
I mean, Michael Jordan was a 10-time scoring champion. That's crazy. In today's era?
Yeah. That's
impressive.
That's
nuts.
That's impressive though.
Even though I don't like LeBron James, he scored the most points in NBA history.
Yeah, but what people fail to realize, or they kind of dismiss when it comes to LeBron, is like he came to a franchise that was winning probably 30 to 20 games before that, and then just changed the whole direction and transformed the culture up there when he was in Cleveland. Granted, they didn't win a championship, but you got to look at them rosters the years that he was there. He didn't really have.
They were terrible. Those rosters was awful.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people don't contextualize like a lot of different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then this is a good point I'm getting ready to make. As tough as it was for LeBron to play in the finals against the Spurs and they got swept, imagine Iverson going against Shaq and Kobe and they're 12-0 going into the finals undefeated.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They lost no games.
Yeah. Could you say if Iverson had Shaq, do you think Iverson would have won? I think so.
Yeah, but it's not even just it's so many other players too besides Shaq. Like imagine AI and KG, and then there was a guy that was low key. He was kind of at my job. He might be on to something. He said when KG came out of high school, there were some other top prospects that were just as good as better than him. But what I flat out told him, there's not too many guys that can win two Mr. Basketballs in two different states.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Two different states.
Would you say LeBron James is top 5 of all time?
I can see the case why people have him top 5 all time, but if they had a top 5 without LeBron, then I kind of could see why, even though some people would probably say you're crazy. He's won 4 rings. It just depends on the criteria or the players that they're trying to put above him or replace.
2 rings to me are questionable out of his 4.
Like talk about the bubble and then
that bubble is bullshit.
And then the one he went with Cleveland.
Yeah, that they gave him a stimulus package with that. 2 of those rings are very, very questionable to me out of his 4.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, the bubble was out of his control. That was kind of like the NBA and stuff. And then
they should have canceled the season. To me, they should have canceled the season.
Yeah, but the NFL still had a season too, didn't they? I
think so. Yeah.
So that's my whole thing with that though. Like those sports leagues they're gonna do what they're gonna do even doing it. Like I don't want this to happen. Some people think it will, but that's like a political issue. But some people think if there might be another pandemic coming because they talking about it's like some other stuff going around.
Yeah.
And, we'll see how the world turns.
Yeah. Before we end this, who is your Mount Rushmore of the NBA league? Like if you had to put 4 faces on the mountain, who you doing it? I'm putting.
Okay. Let's just do it like this: Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson.
I agree.
Shit.
I'm putting
Bill Russell, Kareem. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do them 4.
So you just mentioned 4 players and it wasn't Jerry West, and he's the face of the logo.
Yeah,
You can't make this up.
I like my guys though, and I feel like you get a mixture of the old, I mean not the old, but the then and now. Bill Russell and Kareem represent a certain era. Then you got Magic and Michael.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was going to say those names. That's crazy. I go to barbershops all the time. Well, I used to, and had NBA conversations. I never heard of any conversation, even on SportsCenter, that Jerry West is the top 5 or 10 of anything.
And what's so great with Kareem and stuff, though, even though Kareem could be something else, he actually won a champion. He didn't plan it that way, but he actually won a championship with 2 different franchises.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he didn't try to he didn't get jealous, or he didn't try to try to jealous, or what's another way of putting it?
Envy.
Yeah, jealous, but also he didn't try to like undermine Magic Johnson's and Oscar Robertson's success when he played with them for the Lakers and the Bucks. So that's another reason why I would think about like Kareem, you know.
Right now, before
also what he did at UCLA too. But that's my final point.
Right now, before we end this stream, one face. Who are you putting as the logo? Shit, as the logo, one face right now.
Shit.
Me is Michael Jordan or Bill Russell.
Yeah, I'll probably put Bill Russell. Yeah.
So before I end this stream, remember Jay Leno and them, they said that I was an alcoholic, and they said I drink during the movie sets, right? Let me see if I could put me as a face.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you about what I saw on that video thing.
This was the drink I drunk during the movie sets. It only says 8% alcohol. This is basically a wine beverage. This cannot get you drunk. Not one of these cans. You have to have 2 or 3. This is not strong ass liquor. It's not. So this was the can I drink. This is the only thing I usually drink now, because I don't drink hard liquor. Once I got my daughter, I stopped drinking hard liquor. And then another thing I had to say, I forgot what else I had to say. Oh my goodness. It was one more thing I had to say. Oh yeah. Would you join a stream? Because I want to talk about SSJ. Would you join a stream if a group of people was talking against you, against your best friend or your good friend?
I know.
Yeah, don't you think that's kind of snaky?
Yeah. It indicates you're not honorable, or you have an ulterior motive.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to get to SSJ, because he said, I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I can do whatever I want. I know you can, but it's still snaky. Why would you join a stream where there's people talking bad on me, but we're supposed to be really, really good friends? I don't get that. I don't get this new generation of people. I don't get it.
Yeah, sometimes I hate to say this though, but some people, no matter what their race are, where they're born, or what family they were raised in, they're morally bankrupt.
Yep. Is there anything you want to say before I end this video?
Nah, not really. I'll probably give you a call afterwards. I'll ask you something about.
Okay. Jerry West should not be the face of the NBA. No white man should be the face of the NBA logo. The league has been 70% black or more since the 80s. And to me, that was when NBA was the NBA. Once it started getting more teams, once it starts getting more sponsors, once the world realized that the NBA is here and it's going to last for a very, very long time. I think Michael Jordan made the NBA a profit, and since he came, the league is the league. So I would say Michael Jordan or Bill Russell should be the face of the league. And I'm out.
All right.
Shit.